A terrified young man burst out of a dense forest onto a moonlit beach. Blood covered his shirt, and deep scratches ran across his face. He kept looking over his shoulder, as if something horrible was chasing him. "Help me! Please help me!" he screamed toward a luxury yacht floating offshore. Captain Ethan Brooks rushed onto the deck. "Marcus! Get the rescue boat ready!" he shouted. Suddenly, the young man's body froze. His eyes widened with terror. Something invisible grabbed his ankles and dragged him backward across the sand. "It's here! Don't let it take me!" he screamed. His fingers dug deep into the beach before he vanished into the darkness. Silence covered the island. 3 days earlier, after a violent storm destroyed its navigation systems, the luxury yacht Aurora drifted through the Pacific Ocean. On board were Captain Ethan Brooks, Marcus Hale, Ryan Mitchell, Olivia Carter, Sophia Reed, and Professor Samuel Grant. One morning, a mysterious island appeared through thick fog. The moment Grant saw it, his face turned pale. "We need to leave," Ryan laughed. "Why?" Grant stared at the island. "Because this island disappeared over 100 years ago." Nobody believed him. A few hours later, the yacht anchored near the shore. That evening, Ryan convinced Olivia and Sophia to explore the island. "There could be treasure hidden here," he said. Ignoring Ethan's warning, they entered the jungle after sunset. Immediately, something felt wrong. No birds, no insects, no animal sounds, only silence. Then Sophia suddenly stopped. Hundreds of strange dolls hung from the trees around them. "This place is creepy," Olivia whispered. Sophia nervously touched one of the dolls. Instantly, a woman's scream echoed through the forest. Everyone froze. Then another scream followed, and another. The sound came from every direction. Before they could leave, they discovered a clearing. At its center stood a massive iron coffin. Its lid was already open. Ryan slowly stepped closer. Inside lay the corpse of a woman with long black hair and gray skin. Her empty eye sockets stared toward the sky. A freezing wind swept through the clearing. Every doll on the island began laughing. Slowly, the corpse turned its head and smiled. "Run!" Ryan screamed. The group scattered into the darkness. Back on the yacht, Ethan grabbed a flashlight and entered the jungle. Deep inside the forest, he found Olivia trembling beside a tree. "Ethan, she's real," Olivia whispered. "Who's real?" Before she could answer, a tall woman appeared between the trees. She wore an old black dress. Long black hair touched the ground. Her skin looked dead. Most terrifying of all, she had no eyes. Only empty black sockets. The woman smiled. Olivia screamed. Shadows exploded from the woman's body and wrapped around her. Seconds later, Olivia collapsed as a skeleton. Ethan stared in horror. Elsewhere, Ryan and Sophia discovered an abandoned church hidden deep in the jungle. Inside, they found an old journal. Professor Grant soon joined them. The journal revealed the island's secret. More than a century ago, a woman named Eleanor Blackwood led an evil cult. Villagers captured her, covered her eyes with a sacred cloth, and buried her alive inside an iron coffin. The cloth trapped her spirit forever. Sophia looked terrified. "If the coffin is open," Grant nodded. Then, someone removed the cloth. Suddenly, the church door slammed shut. A woman's laughter echoed through the room. Eleanor stood behind them. Ryan and Sophia barely escaped. Near midnight, the survivors gathered on the beach. Ethan, Marcus, Ryan, Sophia, and Professor Grant remained alive. Grant held the sacred cloth. "This is our only chance." The ground began shaking. Hundreds of dolls emerged from the jungle. Eleanor appeared among them. Grant rushed forward and threw the cloth over her face. Eleanor released an ear-piercing scream. For a moment, everything became silent. Then Ryan panicked. "She's looking at me!" Ignoring everyone's warnings, he pulled the cloth away. Black smoke exploded from Eleanor's body and entered Ryan's mouth. His scream echoed across the island. Seconds later, only a skeleton remained. Ethan realized there was only one solution: burn the coffin. Marcus poured fuel into the iron coffin while Ethan fired a flare gun. A massive explosion shook the island. Fire spread through the jungle. Every doll burst into flames. Eleanor screamed as her body burned. The island began sinking into the ocean. Huge cracks split the ground. The survivors barely escaped aboard the Aurora as the island disappeared beneath the waves forever. As the sun rose, Ethan, Marcus, Sophia, and Grant finally relaxed. The nightmare was over. Or so they thought. Later that night, deep inside the yacht's storage room, a single burned doll slowly opened its eyes. A twisted smile appeared on its face. Then, a woman's laughter echoed softly through the darkness.